And a very good Friday morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Joe Benigno back with you again. Yes, again, the All the Pain podcast, season 5, episode 379. And here we go for another big year with the podcast. Took a little time off, needed a little break. I have gone through some physical issues here that nobody cares about, but I am back, rocking and rolling, playing golf, doing my thing. Football is here and we got a lot to talk about. And the Eau de Pain podcast is brought to you by the Hackensack Brewing Company, also by our good friends at Anita Discount Tire, and a brand new sponsor, the Carolina Resort Vacation. And we thank them for coming on board. So a lot of things to cover here. The football season is back. So I'm watching last night's opener between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Philadelphia won at 24-20. And very good game, up and down, everybody scoring. Basically, every time either team had the ball, they were putting points on the board until finally about midway through the third quarter with the Eagles leading 24-20. Dallas fumbles in the red zone. The kid Williams fumbles in the red zone, and the Eagles recover it. At this point, they go to a commercial. Now, it's about, I don't know, maybe it's 10 after 10, something like that, whatever the time is. They go to a commercial, and Mike Tirico comes back and says, there is lightning detected in the area, and we're gonna have to stop the game for a while. I'm like, what? Stop the game? Immediately, what Benigno did was click off bedtime. Now, the way when I got up this morning, I found out that the final score was 24-20. Considering how the teams were going up and down the field and there still was a quarter and a half to play, it's almost mind-boggling to me that was the final score. Nobody scored again. That's unbelievable. That's number one. Number two, who's staying up for the end of this? Tell me who's staying, unless you are a complete diehard Eagle or Cowboy fan. Were you staying up through the over-hour delay to watch the end of this game? They didn't come back till like 11:30 at night. And this brings up the point, and I got to say, look, nobody loves the NFL more than me. I've been following football since 1960, 1961. It's the best sport there is. We could go on and on and on. But boy, oh boy, Roger Goodell and all his buddies, basically all the owners in the NFL, are making it more and more difficult not only to, watch the game, but enjoy the game. I mean, why do they have to start these night games at 8:30 at night? Can somebody tell me that? So we can have an hour and a half goddamn pregame show that nobody gives a damn about? Who's sitting there watching the hour and a half of babble that you get prior to these games? Tell me who is doing that. I don't give a damn. I just want to see the game. I don't care about seeing 52 different people have to make their prediction and give you their breakdown. I don't care. Give me the damn game. 8:30 at night. I've said this over and over again with the Jet season coming up, and we'll get to that, what a disaster they are. Nice job as Vera Tucker goes down for the year again. He wins this year's Elijah Vera Tucker wins this year's Joel L. Embiid Award for injuries. Well, I'm going to name it the Joel Embiid Award because he's always hurt too. And so is Vera Tucker. Great. Remember, the greatest ability is availability. Just remember that. But anyway, getting back to the NFL, man, can they start these games at night at 7 o'clock? And I am so thankful that the Jets play 14 of their 17 games at 1 o'clock on a Sunday, and one of the other ones is 9:30 in the morning in London against Denver. I mean, unbelievable. Thank God, because I hate these goddamn night games. I hate them. And I think everybody hates them. The only people that likes them are the people at NBC and ESPN and Prime, that do these freaking night games. I hate it. Oh, God, it stinks. And how about what they're doing tonight? Right? What is this game on YouTube TV tonight? You got the Chiefs and the Chargers in Brazil, right? That hotbed of NFL. I mean, let's be honest. Brazil loves the NFL, right? I mean, Brazil. The only good thing about Brazil is Gisele Bündchen. I mean, come on. I mean, outside of that, what's so great about goddamn Brazil? And they're playing football there? Come on. What Chief or Charger fan wants to travel to Brazil to watch a game? Tell me who that is. Where's the next game going to be? Venezuela? Where? Tell me. Moscow? Beijing? Gaza? Where? It's a joke. It really is a joke. And of course, nobody's going to see the game tonight unless you got YouTube TV. I think I do, but I don't even care. I'm watching the Mets tonight. The hell with the football. I could care less about the Chiefs and Chargers tonight. I mean, I really could. It doesn't matter to me. Like I said, I'll be all over the Mets tonight. We'll get into them before we're done as well. I mean, I don't know. I'm just very aggravated. And, I'm sick and tired of the nonsense that the NFL throws at you beside the football. And I don't want to get into all that, all the political crap that they throw at you. I mean, Roger, enough already, okay? And how about last night when Jalen Carter, the Eagles' great defensive tackle, spits in Dak Prescott's face before the game even starts and he gets thrown out? What was that? How does this guy spit in his face? He's got to get suspended, doesn't he? They're going to let this guy play next week? Come on. That would be typical NFL. Spit in his face, let him play. No problem. What the hell is that? That's terrible. Give me a break. Thank God they threw him out of the game. I mean, that was good. Amazing. The NFL is just it's not what it once was, but then no sport is because it's all about money. They don't give a rat's tail about the fans. They figure they got guys like me and you who are big NFL fans. They got us by the balls anyway, and we're going to continue to watch. Well, someday, the golden goose is going to stop laying the eggs. I'm telling you, as they keep up, as the NFL continues to make it more and more difficult for the fans to enjoy the games. It really is unbelievable. It is above and freaking beyond. It really, really is. Anyway, opening weekend, we'll get to the NFL picks. It's like I said, it's very depressing. Let's start with the Jets. Elijah Vera Tucker's out for the year. Of course he is. This is the third time this guy has basically been out for the year. Remember, he got hurt 2 years in a row in Denver, like the fifth game of the year, and he was done. He's their best offensive lineman, but he never plays. And do you have any confidence in this? Everybody's touting this offensive line. Well, what's so good about it? Nobody knows what Fastener is. He's a freaking second-year player, and he got hurt at the end of the year. All of a sudden, when did he become Anthony Munoz? And this other guy, Membo, who apparently has not done much, in training camp and the preseason games, the number one pick, they could have took Jackson Dart, but why would we do that? Right? I mean, is he any good? Now Tipman's going to have to play guard. They're going to move this guy Myers to center. Do you really think this team's going to be any good? They're going to stink. Who's kidding who? And I'm telling you this, okay? And we all can hope that Aaron Glenn is going to be the real deal as a head coach because we don't know. We can only hope. To me, this is what this season is about. They're not going to win a lot of games, of course. This season is about, hopefully, that we have a head coach in Aaron Glenn. Justin Fields is strictly a stopgap quarterback. That's all he is. That's it. They're going to draft a quarterback in the first round next year. They are. And there's a lot of guys that are coming out. And I don't want to get into all the names. Everybody loves Arch Manning. We'll see how good he is. The Buckeyes didn't exactly make him look good last week, did they? But anyway, I don't want to get into all that. It's a long way to go in college and obviously the NFL season. But the Jets aren't going to be any good. And let's be honest about this with Aaron Glenn, okay? As they get ready, of course, to play Aaron Rodgers in week one, he now of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And he's going to light the Jets up. I mean, come on. He is. But this guy's playing with a massive chip on his shoulder in this game against the Jets. And if you think he's not going to kill him, you're out of your mind. But be that as it may, okay? Let's be honest about this. They dumped Aaron Glenn and company, couldn't wait to get Rodgers out of the building. And the prevailing wisdom of that is that, he's bigger than life. He dominates Florham Park. We don't want him being a higher profile than the head coaches and all of that. But let's be honest, and maybe that's part of it. But let's be honest. The real reason the Jets dumped Rodgers is because they knew if Rodgers came back this year, now there's going to be an expectation level for this team this year. People are going to think, well, maybe we're going to be pretty good with Aaron Rodgers, who had a much better year last year than, either the Jets or the media want you to believe. And he's taking the Steelers to the playoff. You can write it down that Aaron Rodgers will take the freaking Pittsburgh Steelers to the playoffs this year. It's a given. There's no doubt about it. No doubt. With that defense, Mike Tomlin, the way they run the ball, they got DK Metcalf now. I mean, come on. Give me a break. Of course they are. So I don't want to get crazy with all of that. But they didn't want Rodgers because then they would have had an expectation level. Now there's no expectation level for Aaron Glenn and Darren Muji, the new GM. There's no level. Nobody expects them to be any good. Everybody knows Justin Fields isn't any good. And they brought him in because he's a low-level guy that they can control, right? Who's been all over the place, right? He was in Pittsburgh last year. He was on the Bears, right? He can't throw the ball. But they brought him in because the expectation level is going to be very low. And it takes pressure off the coach. Because if they had Aaron Rodgers and they're losing games, well, then isn't that a reflection of the head coach, right? If they're losing games with Justin Fields, it doesn't matter because everybody figures they're going to stink anyway. And now with the injury to Vera Tucker, even more so. What a disgrace. They're going to stink. I got no confidence in this team. Do you? Tell me what Jet fan actually has. Now, there are some who are just, deliriously, eternally optimist about this football team. When it's the same old. My wife's laughing at something else. Same old. Every freaking year. Same old crap every year with this franchise. So we can only hope Aaron Glenn is the real deal. We'll see. I pray he is. Nobody knows. And we probably won't even find out this year. The one thing the Jets can do, they got to stop making the dumb penalties, right? The stupid, hitting the guy 20 yards out of bounds, the stupid defensive holding penalties, jumping offside, all personal fouls, which the Jets, love to do, right? That's got to stop. I got to see a big change in that from Aaron Glenn. I really do. That's number one. Not turning the ball over, number two. Forcing turnovers, number three. Let's see if we're going to see all of that. We're going to see a bounce-back year from Sauce Gardner? I don't know. I'm sure Aaron Glenn's been working with him. I don't know what this defense is going to be. I got no confidence in any aspect of it. They did bring Nick Folk back as the kicker. They should have never let him go. He's probably the best kicker we ever had. So we'll see. We'll see what the Jets are going to be. I have no confidence they will beat the Pittsburgh Steelers this week. To me, the lock of the week is Pittsburgh laying 3. I mean, and here's the other thing. The Steelers, the terrible towels and the amount of Steelers, there will be minimum 30,000 Steeler fans in the building. Minimum. It'll be like a Pittsburgh home game. That's how bad it's going to be. You know it is. You know the deal. So I have no expectations here with this franchise. I have no delusions of what they're going to be. They got a great wide receiver in Garrett Wilson. They did pay him. They paid Gardner. But Garrett Wilson, there's nobody else. They're going to triple team him. You think he's going to have a big year catching the ball? Who's the opposite wide receiver? Josh Reynolds, right? Tell me, who is it? And his name is Alan Lazard. Really? Is that who it is? Maybe the tight end Rudolph. Mason Taylor is going to, second round draft choice. Hopefully he's going to turn into a player. Maybe you got to use Breece Hall as a wide receiver like the Rams used to do with Marshall Faulk. Maybe. Because all we know is ground and pound. Give the ball to Breeze. Give it to Allen. Give it to Davis. Obviously, Fields is going to have a lot of, run-pass options. You're going to see a lot of him running and all of that. But they're not going to be any good. Are they going to win 5 games? Are they going to win 6 games? Can it get to 8 maybe? That's really pushing it. So we'll see what happens. Just remember, the mantra that should be on the media guide every year for the New York Jets. Expect the worst, and you're never disappointed. Another great Jet year is upon us, everybody. In the words of Bart Scott from back in 2010, can't wait. I'll throw this in. Can't freaking wait. And thank God that we got all these 1 o'clock games. Thank you, God, on a Sunday afternoon. Oh, baby. All right. The Benigno Order Pay Podcast, we'll get our sponsors in here. Need a discount. First of all, I want to thank everybody that showed up a couple of weeks ago at the Brewing Company for the live podcast. It was a great night. Want to thank everybody. I have no idea when we're doing another one, but everybody that was there, obviously Johnny Harper and Tony Richardson and Sal Licata, who all made it an outstanding night. So thank you for all of them and everybody that showed up as well. Now, if you need work done on your car, you know where you got to go and need a discount tire. In Westwood Avenue in Rivervale, New Jersey, they just did a big job for us. We had a couple belts loose, a water pump. They did it. The price wasn't bad at all. See my son Johnny. See Harry, who's his boss, who does a spectacular job. Anything you need automotively, tires, work done on the car inspected, they will do it at Anita Discount Tire. Tell them Joe B sent you. Now, we have a brand new sponsor, and that is the Carolina Resort Vacation. And you want to check this out. My family was down there earlier in the summer. They had a great time. If you're looking for the perfect vacation spot, check out Carolina Resort Vacations, OBLV Unit 2 in beautiful North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. They got it all. They got 5 spacious bedrooms, each with a private en-suite bathroom. How about that? Very convenient. A fully stocked kitchen ready for family meals or group cooking nights. Come on. Arcade. How about this? Arcade-style gaming table with 150-plus classic games. Smart TVs in every room. Come on. Nothing better than a smart TV. I didn't know that maybe I got a stupid TV. Entertainment for everyone. Steps, you can walk out the door and you're right on the beach. Minutes from Barefoot Landing, mini golf, Ripley's Aquarium, the Myrtle Beach Boardwalk, and I'm sure tons of golf courses that are probably just beyond outstanding. The unit is freshly renovated, spotless and spacious, perfect for family trips, group getaways, a relaxing retreat by the ocean. Whether you're soaking up the sun, exploring local attractions, or just enjoying time together, OBLV Unit 2 at Carolina Resort Vacation makes every trip unforgettable. Now, call 843-249-6509 or visit Carolina, I got to get this right, our resort, it's very weird how this is spelled. Carolina Resort Realty. I see. I got it now. Sorry, everybody. It's very hard to read. CarolinaResortRealty.com to learn more and start planning your trip today. That's CarolinaResortRealty.com to learn more and plan your trip today. 843-249-6509. Again, we thank them again, the Carolina Resort Vacation, our latest sponsor. Thank you so much. My family was down there. They had a tremendous time, and my daughter Erin, who runs everything here, highly recommends it. All right, Benigno, the Order Paying Podcast. Before I get to the Mets, let's get this week's picks in. I'm going to have 3 picks very quick. I'm taking the 2 local games and 1 other game. You heard me say this already. Take the Steelers laying the 3. I don't see any way they don't get crushed in this game. I just don't. Aaron Rodgers coming back with a chip on his shoulder. I understand he didn't play much in the preseason and all of that. I just don't see the Jets doing much in this game. I really don't. Are they going to really be able to run the ball on this Steeler defense? I doubt it. I don't think so. Right? I don't think they're going to run it at all. So I think that's going to be a problem. I don't think there's any question about it. So we'll see. Are they going to be able to run it? Probably not. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. And they're going to force Fields to throw the ball. Doubt that's going to work. Believe me. What else can I say? It's not going to be pretty for the New York Jets. Look for Rodgers to throw at least 3, maybe 4 touchdown passes. Look for DK Metcalf to have a big game against Sauce Gardner. Figure to find. I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins this game. I hate to say this, 28-3 Steelers. So lay the points. Take Pittsburgh. It's going to be like a Steeler home game anyway. So Pittsburgh -3 against the Jets at the Meadowlands, MetLife, whatever the hell they call it, on Sunday, game 1. Game 2, I'm taking the Giants getting 6 against the Commanders in Washington. And we can only hope that someday they go back to being the Redskins like they should be. I'm taking the Giants +6. I think the Giants are going to surprise people. I think Russell Wilson's going to be good. I think they got a terrific defensive line that's going to get after the quarterback. They got a great receiver in Malik Neighbors. I know he was banged up, during the preseason and all. I think he's going to have a monster year. I think they're going to be able to run the ball a little bit. I don't love their offensive line, but I think they're going to be able to do that. I love this kid Scatterboo. I think you're going to see a lot out of him that they drafted. I like the Giants getting 6. And I mean, I know Washington went to the championship game last year, but I still got to see a lot more. And I know Daniels had a tremendous year and all at the quarterback. Let's see what happens in year 2 when the Commanders now have expectations that they certainly didn't have last year. The Giants usually play Washington pretty tough. I'm taking the Giants +6 on Sunday against the Commander in the safest city in America, in Washington, D.C. Thank you very much, big guy. Now, my third pick, the final pick, I'm taking the Patriots laying 2.5 at home against the Raiders, the new look Raiders with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, Brock Bowers. They got the kid Kenty, however you say his name, Genty, the running back. They drafted him in the first round from Boise. We'll see what the Raiders are. But I'm telling you right now, the Patriots are going to be good this year. Now, I'm not saying they're a playoff team or anything like that. They're going to be a big renaissance in Foxborough. Mike Vrabel's the coach. I think they got a quarterback in this kid, Drake May. They got the new Tom Brady statue outside the stadium now. Give me the Patriots laying 2.5 at home against the Raiders. So the Benigno picks for week 1. Give me the Steelers laying 3 against the Jets. Give me the Giants getting 6 against the Commanders in Washington. Jets, of course, home at MetLife. And give me the hated Patriots laying 2.5 at home against the Raiders, the new look Raiders with Pete Carroll and Geno Smith, the Vegas Raiders. All right, so that should pump you up for week 1 in the NFL. Remember the big game Sunday night between the Ravens and the Bills? It's week 1. This game means nothing. I mean, you know what? Really. Everybody's going to go crazy. Everybody loves the Ravens, the Ravens, the Ravens. Wake me up when Lamar Jackson gets to the Super Bowl. Wake me up when Josh Allen gets to the Super Bowl. Don't be shocked if you see the freaking Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl again. The league loves the Chiefs. They're going to get every call. They love Travis Kelce and his girlfriend, Tay-Tay or whatever the hell they call her. Give me a break. Let me tell you right now, Tay-Tay's no Sydney Sweeney, okay? Let's wake up and smell the coffee. But anyway, be that as it may, okay? I'm getting my wife her American Eagle jeans this week. Form-fitting American Eagle. There you go. All right? God bless America. America's back when you're seeing commercials like Sydney Sweeney and Livy Dunn in a bathtub. America's back. Thank you, Lord. Anyway, be that as it may. Where were we? So the NFL is back, and we'll see what happens this week. But Ravens, Steelers, again, the Chiefs, don't bet against the Chiefs being back in the Super Bowl. That's all I'm going to say. All right, let me get to my baseball team here, all right? Now, the Mets right now, as they go into Cincinnati tonight, they're 75-65, 10 games over. They got a 4-game lead now over the Giants, who have been red hot, right? Now, and Cincinnati's now 5 games out, so the Giants have jumped ahead of them. So, and of course, the Mets play the Reds this week, 3 games in Cincinnati. Very big series. I believe the kid is starting tonight. Brandon Sproat, is he not? Oh, no, Peterson tonight. I guess Sproat's pitching tomorrow. The Met pitching stinks. There's no other way to say it. Their best pitcher is obviously the kid Nolan McLean, who's been outstanding. Right now, and Jonah Tong, he had the 1 game. It's hard to gauge because he only pitched 5 innings. The Mets scored 12 runs in the first 2 innings in that game. So you can't really, I don't know really what Tong is yet or what he's going to be. But McLean certainly looks good. It would be nice if Peterson bounced back and gave him a big effort tonight. It's time to dump Senga out of the rotation. It's time to dump Manaea out of the rotation. Get Tyler McGill back up here, put him in a rotation, and let's see what happens. Right now, the rotation, here's the Met rotation in my mind for the rest of the year. Okay? The three kids, McLean, Tongue, and Sproat. Peterson, who's had some real clinkers. He had that last time out, he gave up 8 runs in 2 innings, right? Remember that disaster against, was it the Marlins, right? Wasn't it the Marlins? I think it was, whoever. He stunk. And McGill, that should be it. Get Minaya out of the rotation. Get Senga. Get him out of here. Send him back to the freaking minor leagues. He stinks. The ghost fork. Nobody's hitting it. Nobody's swinging at the ghost fork anymore. The only one ghosting the fork now, the guy getting ghosted is Senga and the Met fans. The bullpen is an absolute disaster. There is not one guy in this bullpen that is any good outside of Edwin Diaz. And how about the 3 guys that the genius Stearns traded for? How are they doing? How's Ryan Helmsley doing, huh? What a disaster. How about Tyler Rogers? How about the fact that the genius gave up this kid Gilbert, right, who they got in the trade for Verlander from Houston? This kid Gilbert, he's been tremendous for the Giants, who are turning it around. Another stellar trade by the Mets for this guy Rogers, who stinks. We're supposed to get excited because he throws underhand and he's never on the IL. Great. He stinks. Gregory Soto was good for a couple outings. Now he stinks. Ryan Stanek, how he's still on the team is beyond my, wildest dreams. He's beyond brutal, right? We go right on down the line. They all stink. You want to tell me that, Reed Garrett's hurt. He stunk. So, we don't miss him not being there. Who you got confidence in that bullpen? The answer is nobody. Nobody. And that's why this team can't win a World Series. They're probably going to make the playoffs, so that's not a foregone conclusion yet. But you can't win with the pitching they have. The pitching sucks. This is not championship caliber pitching. Unless McLean continues to do what he's doing, Tom turns into a big pitcher, Sprout as well. Where are they going? Now, they got to score 10 or 12 runs a game to win. Now, they've been hitting like crazy. Juan Soto is finally doing what we all were hoping he was going to do. I mean, he really is putting up a big year. He's got 37 homers. He finally hit a home run that was not a 2-run homer or less. He hit a grand slam the other day against Detroit. He's got 37 homers and 91 RBIs. He leads the majors in walks. He's got about 110 walks. I think he scored over 100 runs. His OPS is over 900 and all of that. So he's finally giving you the kind of year. He's even hitting with runners in scoring position now, which God knows he wasn't doing. I think he's over 230 now, where he was about 130 for a long time. So he's finally doing it. Pete's having a solid year. 33 homers, 113 RBIs for Pete. Ante up, Stevie, because it ain't going to be so easy this time, getting Pete signed. You better freaking sign him before the free agent signing period starts, because it ain't going to be like last year where nobody's going to be after him. So you better ante up and get it done, Steve. It will be an out-and-out disaster if they let Alonso go. And that would be so Met-like. I'm not going to start reeling off the litany of Mets over the years that they have let get away. From Tom Seaver to Darryl Strawberry to Daniel Murphy to Zach Wheeler. We could go on and on. I don't want to. We'll stop. I'm going to stop now. I don't want to get crazy. It's early in the morning. I'm playing golf today. I got to feel good, Right now, I don't feel so great. But I am freaking, what can I say? The Mets are finally hitting. Vientos is finally hitting. Beatty's hitting. Alvarez is coming back after the injury tonight. I don't know how I feel about that, because Luis Torrens has been tremendous. I mean, really. He has really started to hit. Nobody throws out base runners more than him. How about the way the Mets are stealing bases? You watch the games, Keith Hernandez goes nuts. That they get these walking leads and they steal like with impunity on everybody, which is great for us. But Hernandez is always complaining about it. But anyway, I think the Mets will make the playoffs. They're not winning the division. Forget it. I know they got 4 games with Philly next week in Philly, but they are not winning the division, so you can forget that. Get in the playoffs, see what happens. But realistically, with this pitching staff, they can't win a championship. And even if the starting rotation settles down with all the kids headed by McLean, the bullpen is an out-and-out disaster. Clay Holmes should be in a bullpen now. Get him out of the rotation, put him in the pen. You want to put Minaya in the pen? Okay, I can live with that too. Time to dump Stanek. Time to dump Hemsley. Time to dump Reed Garrett. Go right on down the line. They all stink, okay, outside of Diaz. And that's why I can't see the Mets winning, not with the state of their pitching staff.
It's a fire sale.
So there you go. All right. Enjoy week 1 of the NFL. Let's go, Jets. Don't bet on it, as I said. Pittsburgh's going to kill them. If they don't, I'll be shocked. I really will. Hopefully, I'll be shocked, but I don't expect that I will be. Let's hope the Mets get it done. At least get 2 out of 3 in Cincinnati. And keep your eye on the Giants because they don't play the Giants anymore. I got to talk to my guy, Dennis in Yonkers, about the Giants and how they suddenly turned it around again. And this Drew Gilbert, just remember, let's hope he doesn't turn into the next Pete Crow Armstrong, okay? You know what I'm talking about, Met fans. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll be back on Monday. We'll recap what happened on Sunday. We're going to start doing a lot of different interviews with the podcast and all of that. That's going to be coming up. We're going to be working on a lot of different things. Everybody, enjoy your weekend. God bless America and all the love, everybody. We will talk to you. Oh, by the way, don't forget to catch me tomorrow on The Fan. They are cutting my hours from 5 to 9 to 5 to 7. It's only a matter of time, everybody. Okay? It's only a matter of time. Do catch me on Tuesday. I'll be with Evan on Tuesday breaking down the Jet game. Monday, I got an golf outing that I've committed to that I have to be at. So I will not be on Monday. I'll be on Tuesday with Evan and Tiki. Again, God bless America. All the love. Talk to you on Monday.